Hey everybody, welcome back to Stamping School. Had to take a few weeks off from filming. My husband Matt had a quadruple bypass, which was a surprise to all of us, and he's doing great. But I haven't been able to stamp. I've been doing other things. I've been Nurse Linda, but that's okay. He's doing really, really well. So I'm filming today because I want to show you this new stuff that's coming November 7th. This is part of their online exclusives, which means it's not in a catalog. There's this bundle up here, Meandering Meadow, and this paper. That's what I think everybody should get. It's really good. I'll show you what that looks like. Fluffiest Friends, which is these cute little critters right here with the dies. And there's going to be some more, and these will all come out on November 7th. So to me, the star of the show is this paper. You know, they've done really well with this type of paper. It's like oil paintings almost. It's beautiful. It's a pack of 48 sheets. You get 4 of each design. And the back sides are usually just like a coordinating side. So let me just show you some of these designs, how pretty they are. Really pretty colors. I'm sure one of a concept artist painted these in little miniatures, and then, you know, they make the paper out of it. So beautiful. Pretty, pretty, pretty scenery. So because this is an online exclusive, I don't know if they're going to be getting more in. If you love it, get it right away on the 7th, and I'll tell you, it could sell out. So email me if you want me to get it for you first thing on the 7th. Just email me, linda@stampingschool.com, and I'll make sure that when I'm putting in all my orders, I will make sure you get it, okay? Look how pretty. I just love these colors. They're just gorgeous. Just gorgeous. And I love that you get 4 of each one, so really pretty. Pretty, pretty, pretty. There's not a bad paper in here. There's not one bad design that you can't use for something. I'm going to show you how to do a diorama with it today. This is the back, in case you want to see. All sort of like just painted canvas. Just really pretty. Ooh, that one's pretty. That's pretty on both sides. Uh-oh. Very pretty paper. So 48 sheets, $12.50. There's also going to be, if you liked our flat butterflies, the real flat gold ones, brush gold, they're going to be having these, which are dragonflies and these birds, but they don't have enough. They're going to get more in. I don't know if they're coming back until the end of November. But dragonflies and birds, those we'll need in the spring, so that's okay. I'm okay that those are going to be late. And then there's some new ribbons and some other things coming. So let me show you what this one looks like. Okay, so Garden Meadow, you might already have this type of a stamp set. We've had a lot of garden things. The highlight of this bundle, I really like the sentiments, and I like this fence right here. The dies are nice because you've got a fence that cuts out like this, and it also cuts out the stamp set, which is kind of nice, and a cute wagon, and some little quails, I think, boots, you know, all the little garden things. It's got, the dies have these 3 types of grass and shrubs, and then this big one, which goes along with our radiating stitched things. It actually cuts this shape here, and it puts the stitches here. So when you lay it down and run it through, it cuts just like this, okay? Which the first thing I thought of is, oh, that looks like a door, right? Let's do a door, and we'll put the paper in it. Let me show you what I did. I don't know if it's because of the papers I used, or this door color, but it didn't come out the way I was hoping. It looks a little medieval, but I was thinking I could make the little hinges, see, and then open it, put my greeting there, and then put this on the inside. So I still have some work to do on that. It's not quite what I was envisioning, but there's something there. You guys run with it. See if you can come up with something fun, but I could definitely see a door. Right. This is the diorama. We've been making these for years. In fact, I went through some of my samples, my old samples, and I think this was back in 2009 I made this. It was like one of the first times that I presented at one of their conferences, and it was called the Regionals back then. We had this really cute stamp set called Owl Together Now. And 6x3 cards were kind of popular. We had 3x6 envelopes, so this fits in that. I'm missing an owl right there. There was one sitting here. So this was one of my samples from way back in the day. We had these tag punches, and you would bring the punch up. I'm using a circle just to show you. You bring the punch up and you punch it and move it over and punch it again, and it created this window. This is before we had dies. And that's how we did the dioramas. And I did the same one with Zufari. Some of you guys may remember this one way back. I can't believe I kept those. And then this one was a swap that somebody did, and there's no name on it. I don't know who did it. If it's you, let me know. But this is done with the circle punch. So coming up and punch, punch, punch for the window. Isn't that cute? And again, it was 3x6 when it was flat. So I'm making mine bigger. So this one is 4 1/4 by 6 when it's folded flat. So that will fit in one of the Memory and More, the next size up envelopes. So you'll have to go smaller if you want to use our normal size, but this is just a little bit bigger. These envelopes are, I think, 4 1/2 by 6 1/2. And you can get a whole pack of the cards and envelopes in this size that we have. I'll link to those. But anyway, that fits in a bigger envelope because I wanted a nice big scenery. This is going to a neighbor of mine. He does all kinds of good stuff in the neighborhood, and so I thought he might like this one with a little bit of plaid in the front. And I used the deckled circle. So let me show you how to make a diorama. So for this one, you need 2 pieces of cardstock that are exactly the same size. 4 1/4 by 7 1/2, 2 pieces. And then you're going to score the 2 ends at 1/2 inch basically. So you're going to score at 1 1/2 and then at 6 inches. And that's going to create one panel. And then the second panel is exactly the same, and they will fit together basically like this. Now, you can just do a single diorama like this. You don't have to have this little middle piece in there. You can just do this if you want, and it's still going to fold flat. So whatever size you want to make, just remember when it folds flat, it has to fit in the envelope, right? And it has to be able to fold in each direction. But I'm going to show you how to do the middle piece also, because I really like how when you're looking through, it just gives more depth. So that's going to be, I'm going to do navy on the inside. And this one is 4 1/4 by 6 inches, but you're scoring at 3/4 of an inch. And so it's going to be, so you can see it here because it's blue, it's hard to see. So you're going to score at 3/4 and 5 1/4, and that gives you a little 3/4 inch panel in there. So let me show you what that looks like from the top view. It's going to go together like this, okay? That's your diorama right there. But now we need to create the windows in there because otherwise you can't see through it. So for the front panel, I'm going to use these deckled dies, which are so amazing. So many pieces to these. I thought this size was just about right. Now, if you have a circle, a square, it doesn't matter what you have, whatever shape you want. This die is approximately 3 1/2 inches. So whatever you have. If you're old school and you have a colossal, doesn't matter. Just get a circle in here. You're going to run that through the machine to create your window. Now, the next size down is what you want for this second navy layer, because you want to be able to see it, so it's just a little bit smaller. So here's what you got to do. You got to line it up. You got to get these 2 pieces together, make sure the creases are the same, all right? Lay it down, and then put this one down on there, and tape it, because we want to make sure it's going to look right. Okay, I use old washi tape, something that, you know, always tape to the inside if you're gonna, instead of the outside, and then run that through your machine. And then save these for a sentiment for something else. So now you have a nice layer. All right, let's look at this again. All right, we've got this right in the middle. I've got a lot of shadows because it's white, but you can see it in there. Now, if you want this stamping on here, I stamped it in plaid and then rubbed some ink on it to make it just a little more rustic looking. Do that now before you put everything together. And if you want this little banner on here, do that now before. If you want to stamp something on the designer paper, do that first before you put everything together. I'm going to use this little fence. I'm just going to darken it up in some places with a marker. I just want it to look a little bit more rustic, have some light, some dark. I did that on crumb cake. Let that dry. That's my little fence for inside right here. Little gate. Now I chose this one for my paper. They're all good, but you want to look to see where you're going to want it. I tried a few different things. Because this is only 6 inches, I tried to make it go around the edges. It's a little short, plus it's too bulky. So what I ended up doing is cutting it down to 4.5 by 4 1/4. So it fits right in there. So I cut that down and save all those extra pieces. You can use them to stamp on. So this is going to be the back of my card. And I'm going to glue that down. Like I said, if you want to stamp something on here, you've got some room to stamp. If you want to put some birds on there or something in the air, remember this is going to go over here so you kind of have an idea. I'm going to use a black pencil and just add a couple of birds. Yeah, why not? Right, now this piece is going to get glued here. Okay, that's going to be the first part. And you can decide, I did vellum on mine. I just kind of liked how soft it was. But if you want something bolder, you could definitely add your happy birthday and make it bolder. I might do that just so it shows up more on the video. And you want to get it about the right size. You're going to glue under. That really is the best way, less bulky, to just glue underneath it right here. Right? So I'm going to just add a little bit of glue to each end. There. Make sure it's straight. And if it's a little shorter, it's okay because you're not going to see it underneath there. Just make sure that it's even. If it's too long, it might stop it from folding, okay? So it's better if there's a little bit of excess room, wiggle room right there. Now I'm going to add my little fence. You don't have to cut it. I did cut mine on the first one, but I don't think anybody's really going to notice it. So I'm just going to put a teeny bit of glue on the ends right here. I would probably use liquid glue so you can kind of get in there. But I'm only going to glue right here and here, there and there. You just don't want the glue to be popping above your open space. Right there. Now, a nice strong glue along the edges. And the first one, you just want to make sure is straight. You don't want this popping above. You want it nice and even so they're all the same height. Okay. And now this one, fold it flat, put your glue down here. Okay, keep it nice and flat and then fold it over. So now, see, each way folds nicely. Good. All right, now we have the top to do right there. And this is where you can decide if you want to decorate it or do whatever. You could stamp and cut flowers. You could do the wagon. You can do all sorts of things on the outside of it. But you're decorate it the way that you want to. But you're going to glue the same way. Okay, put your glue here. Get that nice and even on the one side first. Only glue one side at a time, otherwise you'll get in trouble. Right? And then we're going to fold this down flat. And this gets glued right here. Get glued here, fold it flat. And then See, now it's gonna fold flat when you mail it. I love a diorama. I just think they're fun. And they're really nice to, when somebody gets them, they stand up on the counter. It's a nice little scene. I like it. Go make one. And remember, November 7th at midnight Mountain Time, probably 2 a.m. Eastern, this paper. Get this paper. I'll post the item number down below in the description and on the blog. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. See it, learn it, stamp it.